Minnesota State men's hockey star is currently in the ICU after a recent accident on the ice. Currently, Jensen is a hockey coach for a couple of different programs in the West Metro. He fell last Friday during practice and suffered a skull fracture, which created bleeding on his brain. According to a GoFundMe, Jensen is now in stable condition, upgraded from critical, and can wiggle his toes. They'll be waiting a couple of days to see if the swelling will go down. The entire hockey community across Minnesota is coming together with over $100,000 raised for the family.
When bad happens, the good comes together, and we make it work for everybody. And Jason played here and has spent a lot of time in a lot of different communities helping grow hockey players and develop young men. And a really scary and unfortunate situation, but to see the amount of money that's raised, I think the last I saw was a couple days after things were posted, north of $70,000. I mean, that's an amazing testament to the great people that support our hockey communities and our families that need it when they need it most.
Jensen played for the Mavericks from 2000 to 2003 as a goaltender. If you'd like to follow his health journey, we've got a link to his GoFundMe at KEYC.com.